Pick up another call in the parking lot in Tucson. Are you with me? When I stand on the roof gone, I pull up like Jimmy Neutron. Hoping I could get a move on. Like you haul, and I know we like to go slow, but we could go faster. Maybe the best.
Okay, guys, if you watch the replay, welcome in, welcome in. I know everybody is watching other stuff, but I'm finna hurry up and get this together because, baby, we got to talk. Hold on. Okay, so we get into Belle Collective. We get into Latrice having the ladies give back. She say it's a big deal. She has everyone there, including the state representative and the news station, to help give back. She doing an interview and saying that she's doing a community give back because right now the economy is so fickle and there's so many people that are not able to afford the essentials. And she said she was a child that parents didn't have a lot. In the position she in now, she's always welcome to give back. And she said that she come from a small town where she never had a lot, so she can relate to not having enough food to eat and stuff like that. So she says it's important for her to not have people worrying about food because it's a scarcity right now, which it kind of is. And she say it's nothing to be ashamed about because a lot of people go through it. And then you had the state representative had said that they have the highlight and they're glad to have, that he got the call from Latrice, to help give back. And she say, you got to support people like her. It's very honorable for her to actually do what she's doing, and to give back, in, Jackson, Mississippi. And they say it's very honorable and for her to do what she has to do. And so she got everybody ready. People were pulling up and they came to taste. They gave out a cart and a box full of food, eggs, milk, all the stuff they needed, deodorant, stuff like that. They gave a lot of good stuff. So, they had one box per car and it was a lot of people coming in. So it was a plenty of food, plenty of stuff that is needed, and that everyone needs to have. So then we see Letitia pull up. She had a box full of stuff that she giving back, that she wants to give away. So Latrice and Letitia gave each other a hug. And Latrice says she arriving at the gift back, and it's the first time for her being there. And she said it kind of feel weird and it feels a little awkward, but she is going to show up. And then Latrice said thank you for coming, and Letitia said this is what you call discourse, and they talking and everything is okay. So Letitia tells her it's very nice, and she told Glenn and said that he was gonna come and he'll be late. And Latrice said she told her husband, child finally told Cliff could finally have his friend back and confident that he was invited, child. So, she said her husband said, okay, well, if he come, they'll talk. And Letitia said that she want Glenn and Cliff to have a conversation because they really had a friendship, which they did. Glenn and Cliff had a great friendship, okay? They told each other every goddamn thing, okay? So, Letitia says she hoped that Glenn and Cliff can resolve their issues. And, Letitia says she haven't had a conversation with her husband since he interrupted the photo shoot. So they really haven't been talking like they usually do because Glenn was trying to fight the manager. And the manager, he real big. He just standing there looking. But Letitia says she did invite him to stop by Taste. And after the event is over, they will go to dinner and have a conversation. So as everybody getting the food out and stuff, they're saying hey to everybody. They're putting a box of food in their car with a jug of water. And everybody is directing everyone to where they need to be. And they asked Tamara in her confessional how was her dad doing. And after the phone call, and she said that her dad is doing much better. She said that Latrice has called every day, every single day, multiple times a day to check on her And she said Latrice definitely been there for her, and she is there for her. And Tamara is insinuating that ain't nobody called but Latrice. So, that's what it sounds like. So, everybody say it was a success. They finished the gift back. The event was nice. Latrice said the event was amazing, and she felt like it hit every door that she was trying to achieve when it comes to the community. So as it's over, guess who pulls up? Oh, I'm sorry. A woman came up and she was come off. Marie. Marie came and dropped off some food at the last minute, and everybody done to go. Marie done pulled up. I knew it was Marie. And she say she was at her grandkids' first basketball game, but she say better late than never. She here. And Marie say, Letitia, are you here at the taste? Like she was surprised. And Marie say, what did I miss? And then Latrice say Letitia and her made amends. And, Marie say she proud of her and she going to pray for them. This example, of Tamara and Carrie, having, having a conversation to push this. But Carrie isn't there. Carrie had to go to Atlanta. And, like Marie say, she said, you stay out of people's business, they'll make up. So then we go to taste. Cliff and Latrice sit across from Letitia and Glenn. And Glenn said, here we are. It was like, he was like, Cliff said, here we are. And Glenn said, I mean, and, Letitia and Latrice agreed that, the guys should talk one-on-one. And the ladies was like, you know what? I agree. We're going to step out, girl. Okay, girl, let's step out. The men got it. They can have a conversation. And Letitia say, to be honest, she looking forward to having a conversation with Glenn because she need Glenn to understand that her brand is her brand and her marriage is her marriage, because she dreaded it, because she know how Glenn can be when it's time to have a serious conversation. So as the ladies leave, Glenn told Cliff that he wanted to have a conversation with him for a minute, and he wanted to present, he had a lot of things he wanted to say, and he looked up to, Cliff, and, he wanted him to be vocal like he always is, and say he's a very outspoken person. And Cliff said when that situation happened, he said that, Glenn said that a wife, that his wife interfered the marriage. And he said that hurt him because you call me and I look at you as a nephew, and when you did that kind of took a turn from him. And that's why then she didn't want me to talk to you. So he said, I got to get some grace and sleep. And Glenn say, I get it. I wasn't trying to cause no commotion in your household. So as they talking, Latrice brought them something to drink, and they switched drinks because he say. So as Latrice walk off, Glenn say, let's switch drinks. So Latrice told, so you can get it back. I didn't do nothing to it. So they start laughing. So he said, you never be too careful. And so Latrice told Letitia, talking about some girl, your husband, talking about let's switch drinks like I don't pour, like I tried to poison him. Child, they is sitting here laughing. And Latrice say, she say she ain't got time for Glendale. And then she say, what is it like? Letitia asked, what is it like in there right now? She say, well, Latrice say, well, they are laughing. Letitia say, oh, okay, that's good. She said, that's good. We somewhere. And Latrice say, I could bet you anything they had too many serious conversations. And then everything now was laughter, like they back together like nothing ever happened. And Letitia say, you had to give him permission, like to even talk to him. And Latrice say, yes, I did. Of course, to go back to everything that went on. Letitia say, you're right. She say, if me and Tisha ain't talking, you can't talk to Glenn. And she said, Letitia say, you're right. What are y'all talking about if we're not talking, and what y'all talk about? So, Letitia agreed with her that they shouldn't have a conversation. And I mean, that's just what it is. So Letitia asked Latrice about her honest opinion about the meeting with the collective. Like, what do she think? Like, Latrice say, like, for her, she thinks that trust needs to be built. And Letitia say she want them both going in with on the same page. And Latrice say the event can be beneficial for the collective because they're coming all together, and any issues they have, they may have with one another. It can have a conversation. If they put everything out on the table, they say, let's put it out together and get past it. So, we go back to Cliff and Glenn. He say, he weighed 2,000 miles away, and say that Latrice get a phone call from Latrice that she's going off and about the situation with Glenn at Selena party. And they showed the clip about how he was trying to separate everything. And Cliff said he was pissed about it. Glenn saying, you were pissed at me. Like, why you were mad at me? And Cliff said, he said, you got all on her face. He said, I don't know if it's true or not. And Glenn said, what I did was protect my wife, which he was pushing Letitia away, saying, calm down. He said everybody was in the parking lot. He said he was just making sure that Letitia was good. And Cliff said, I understand you had to protect your wife. And he said, him being in Latrice's face, he said he was never in Latrice's face. He would never do that. And he said he's not that type of guy. And then Cliff said him and Glenn are on a better term. They're, true friends. And he said he understand that, and he want Glenn to understand he got to take responsibility for what he does and stop putting it on his friends, because it's him that does what he does to put himself in them situations. And they were talking about, so after that he started telling Cliff about the photo shoot. And he said that he almost got into it with the manager at the photo shoot. And he said that the manager got sideways because he said he wanted emails and texts and they had words. And he said his wife didn't come to his, Letitia didn't come to his offense. So Cliff asked, was the manager gay? I can't. Cliff say, well, is the manager gay? Glenn say, no, I'm not finna play with Cliff. I'm not. Latrice, why is he like this? I'm not finna play with Cliff. Well, is he gay? Like, what's the problem? If he gay, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Glenn say he ain't gay. Cliff like, well, damn, if he gay, what's wrong? You all right? Child. And then Glenn said, no, well, I don't know. He called me sexual chocolate. I'm not worried about that. And she not fond of her working with him like that. If Glenn, I don't think him calling you sexual chocolate was gay. He took a dig at you. He called you sexual chocolate right there. Sexual chocolate. I believe the children are the future. Come on, everybody, teach them well and let them. He calling you sexual chocolate for coming to America with the Jerry curl. He not calling you sexual chocolate because he think, you that man, as everybody think. He's calling you sexual chocolate, Eddie Murphy character, from Coming to America with the Jerry curl, the tight fitted suit. He wouldn't. It wasn't what you thought, Glenn. He was taking a dig. We all know what sexual, the all that oil and dripping onto the suit. He's calling you that sexual chocolate. He's saying that you act like sexual chocolate, off key, loud and wrong. That's what he called you. So he was picking fun. He's picking on you because he's basically saying, like, you be coming up with these songs and stuff, you sound like sexual chocolate. I say Gucci Mane, little brother. He calling you sexual chocolate, say ain't nobody cheering on that weak ass me. That's what he trying. He taking a dig at your music. He say your music is trash. I didn't say it. He said it. He calling you sexual chocolate, say that your rapping is trash. I'm not saying it. If anybody reference somebody to sexual chocolate, he's talking about Coming to America. Off key. That's what he's trying to say. Off beat. That's what he's saying about you. He's saying you're off key and you're off beat. He ain't saying, oh, he think he God give. No, he's calling you Mr. Jerry Curl himself with the tight fitted 1975 suit on and the Ruffles from Coming to America. Okay, if y'all don't know who that is, y'all need to go watch Coming to America 1 and 2. That's one of my favorite movies, child. Okay, that's what he called. So Cliff is looking like what, and and then Glenn say he didn't call him sexual chocolate, which is weird. He's never been called that middle argument. They're not thinking about what I just referenced to. And Cliff say, well, why would he call you sexual chocolate? He taking a gig. And then, Glenn say he don't know. That's some of the weirdest thing he ever seen. He say his pants ain't tight. So he said, yeah, he better leave you alone. Cliff and Glenn, he trying to say your music sucked. Remember they said sexual chocolate can't sing? And he was always getting the money for the people at the fundraisers that McDowell's had held. Yeah. So then we go into Marie, and Marie is meeting up with her stepdaughter Amber. And oh, she gorgeous. She got a hair for the hair girl. And they go to a painting thing, and they say that Amber's home for the holidays. She enjoys drawing and painting, and so she took her to Hope Studio for to spend time with her and to catch up. And so, they sit down in front of their canvas. And Marie say Amber is a huge part of her life. She say when Cedric and her split up, I like that picture they painting. She say, she still talk to her. She still hang out with Amber. They still spend time together. That's her bonus daughter. And she say they do it often. And she says nothing has ever changed. So, Amber asks how's everything been. And Marie said, well, where do I start? And Amber says she want to know between her and Cedric, Mr. Cedric. And Marie said, your father. And for Amber to call him Mr. Cedric, their relationship must not be that great as we think. And Marie say your father, and she say my father. She say she's not talking to him, she's not dealing with him, and Marie say she felt betrayed. She didn't see it coming. And Amber say she saw it coming. And she say she saw it coming from a mile away. She say it's a pattern with her and the dad, because he'll lure her in some type of way to get her back, and then they'll be back together for a little cool minute. And then she say, and shout out to Amber for clocking the T. Shout out to Amber for clocking the T. My bad. So Amber clocked T. Amber been saying like clocking like listen. She been saying what I've been saying. She say I feel like my dad is a good father. And I had these conversations. You can be a good father, but you can be a crappy boyfriend or husband. It's simple. She say I feel like he's a good father, and she say, but she feel like they better apart and they need to be separated. And Marie say that's true. And Marie say she's not surprised, because when she left Cedric before, Amber inspired her to do so. And she was like, Mama Marie, like, you gotta leave your dad. You deserve so much better. And she say she's been through it before, and she say she's right. Excuse me, they better off apart, and I agree. I think Amber noticed her dad is horrible in relationships and marriages, but when it comes to being a father, he's on point. He does things for the kids. There's difference. A lot of people get equipped into, oh, when you marry the mother, you're great. It don't always be that way. You can be a great father, just like a mother can be a great mother as a single mother, or with anybody. She's still going to be great with or without. But when it comes to relationships, it's totally different. And so, she was saying that they do need to be apart. And Marie said he's not capable of loving her the way that she deserved. And Amber asked her a question. She said, why do you keep going back? Like, what is it about my dad that makes you just go back to him all the time? Like, what is it? And Marie said because it's familiar, and she keeps going back to what's familiar. And she said, she's not going to go back this time. This is it for her. And Amber say, are you for real? Because you said that last time. And Marie was laughing. And she said, you said that last time, you went right on back. And Marie said she know Amber. She knows she went back. She knows she went back last time. She said, but this time, she means that. She means it. She said she's not getting back with her dad. And she said Amber straight shooter. She don't sugarcoat anymore. Like, Amber don't sugarcoat at all. She's honest. And then she asked her, was she ready to date anybody else? And Marie says she's outside. She's ready for the next person, honey. She's ready for her person. And Amber say, you ready for the next cat? Like, what you mean the next cat? What you mean? And Marie say, where she at in her life, she's not putting her life on hold. She's living her life unapologetically. She's ready for whatever it is for her. And Amber asks her if she's talking to somebody right now. And Marie say not yet, but she is on the dating apps. And Amber scratched her head and say, on a dating app? What you mean the dating app? Hey Gloria, like dating app? And Amber say, you getting the leftovers on the date naps. You getting the leftovers. You getting the men that don't want to go outside and meet a quality woman. Go to the country club, go golfing. I've been saying that. Golfing, charity events. That's where y'all need to step in at. Go to the nice restaurants. Not a club now. The nice restaurants, they sit down and it's a little bar there. That's where y'all gotta meet them at, the country club and all that stuff. She ain't, come on, Amber. Come. You better tell them, Amber. Quality. Quality, not quantity. Quality. Come on now. Come on. You better tell them, Amber. I've been telling them forever. She said that's what the quality men are. You on a dating app, you just gonna meet a man that just playing his video games and eat chips all day. I hope, Olivia, you are watching and taking notes. Video games and eat chips all day. This is why you don't meet a quality man. You don't get dressed and go try to find quality. Parachute draws. So, anyway, so Marie said she didn't look at it like that. And Amber was like, yeah, that's what's left of men on dating sites. They're the leftovers. They are the men that sit at home. They don't want to go out. They don't, the woman moved on, finna go find better. And they finna meet them on dating app. That's what she said. Yeah. And some of the quality men go on dating app and they get the crazy girls. Or the women that got 50, 11 baby daddies and they having a child on the way and pregnant, or they owe child support debt, or they sitting here got custody battles, or they got a restraining order, call the police on a few times, go crazy, do thin line between love and hate behavior. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, Marie say, what, Amber is right. She just got a divorce. They could potentially still be married. She said she don't know. She said she getting off the dating app. So Amber was like, get off of it and throw that stuff away. She said, go to the country club in Madison, put on that red lipstick and that little bodysuit. That's what she was telling Marie. She said, you can get you somebody of quality, girl. I know that's right, Amber. She said, throw that dating app away, honey. She said, let that go. She said, you can go to a country club and get your little bodysuit on or a little dress. She said, you're going to meet your man. I promise you that. She said, Marie said, my baby don't school me. And Amber said, I know that's right, Amber. So then we go to the Belle Collective luncheon, dinner, luncheon, gathering, tea party. I call it adult sip and talk. Let's gather and see where we are, ladies. I like that. They had their cute little black on, their little hats. They had, cute makeup, pearls, gloves. They look like, nice business ladies, zip your tea. So Letitia say, Letitia and Latrice sat next to each other. And that Letitia was like, we all we came together to see where we stand with the collective, where we are. Yeah, they dangerous. Where we are, where are you guys going to be, how we're going to move forward with everything. And Letitia says she wants to start with Tamara. And she said when we started it, Tamara said when we started out, it was a great time. We had fun. Baby, Tamara said, right now, baby, we in the hood. We in the trenches. Hold on. Do I have my video right here? I'm going to tell you what she say it is right now. She say the ghetto. In my Nene voice, we are in the ghetto. We in the hood. We in the trenches. We are ducking. We are sitting here making sure the house don't get broken in at this point. That's where we at. Honey, we eating not oodles and noodles. We have cereal, no milk. We are in the hood right now. Like, I don't understand. We are not even capable to sit in the hood, okay? So, she say we in the hood. She say it's no sister in it. And she say that's the truth, and that's why we here. She say, because one thing we have in common, if you heard me say that I feel like it wasn't a safe space, I heard you say it, I heard Latrice say it, I heard Marie say it. And Letitia say, so I just want to know, are you ready to be a little more transparent? And Tamara say, I do talk more to Latrice. She said, I talk more to Selena. She said, I'm more transparent with people that have made it comfortable for me to be transparent. In other words, it's a two-way street with me. I'm more close to talk more transparent with Latrice and Selena than I am with the rest of you ladies. And she said in her confessional, she said, when you've been hurt by other bells, and when you feel like the bells do something to you, it makes you protect your peace. Like, you don't want to deal with them emotionally. And, she say her peace is a priority. And Tamara say the only time I only shied away when I was pregnant. She say, I do feel like at that time I was attacked when I was in a vulnerable place. And at that time I was fighting postpartum depression. I didn't want it, but I made sure I showed up for everybody. And Tamara say after her pregnancy, she heard from Latrice all the time and Selena. And she said she's another person that checks on her. She said that she actually did expect more support from some of the bells that she didn't get, especially the ones who are mothers, no matter what they have going on. And Carrie say, you just had a baby. That's a vulnerable spot to be. And she say, very. And Letitia say, my standpoint is if I have to fight through my hurt and I still have to show up, what makes y'all any different? I told y'all she was coming with it. Letitia with these blazers. And, Marie say, we keep having these restarts, fresh starts, rebirths. Like, it's Tamara wants this prestige, but she's not interested really getting to know them beyond surface level. I feel like they have to. My thing is, y'all, just extend support to Tamara. Just extend a call, check on her, see how she's doing, and then see where it is from there. Just start doing that. Because, like I say, I don't want her to leave the show. I'm sorry. I want to know more about Tamara. I feel like Tamara hasn't shared much of a storyline with us either. And I hope she okay. And I feel like she had to protect herself and not having an attack from everybody. And I get that. When people feel like they're in a spot and they give it, they love it and they support and they feel like they're not giving that back, I think Tamara's shutting down. And I feel like that's a tough spot to be in. I don't want her to shut down. I miss the old her. That I know something is going on. I hope everything is okay. She was giving us a more of her relationship and saying, baby, I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. But I think she's starting to just feel like I'm going to just show, but not too much. So, Tamara said that she believed it was about the book and about the collective and about the chapters that they make up the chapters, and the chapters are going to be different. And Latrice say she liked the way she put that. And Letitia say it is about the book and she loved it. And she say her book to her has always been the same. And Letitia say she feel bad about Tamara going through postpartum after the baby, but she's still firm on her opinion. Like, that's an example. How we supposed to know that? We want support, but honey, you got to show up and tell us what's going on. We right here. And Letitia say that's okay. It's a battle. And Latrice say it's crazy that they look at Tamara just like she don't she's not worth a lot because she is. And she say, Tamara is the true definition of a BELLE. She has every right to be there. And Letitia said, Selena, that brings me to you. What do you think? And Selena says she understands what she's saying. Like, she don't feel comfortable. It's not a safe space for her. And if we do what we say and we on this paper, we can make it a safe space for her to share more. And I agree. And Letitia say, that's fair. And she say, so Tamara, in this moment, do you feel like you still want to be a part of the collective? And Tamara says, she gives a pause, and she says she believes the collectives have purpose, that they have a purpose. And, the collective has a purpose, and they also have a purpose. And she's saying, you want to be a part of something that has a purpose, and that's the relationships, business, that she can relate to Marie, and professional, because she can relate to Marie with that. And she say everything that's for a purpose. And Tamara say she definitely consider herself purpose driven for sure. And she says it's very important to her. And even Letitia, she talks about protecting her peace. And she said, don't be mad when I protect mine. So then Carrie rang the bell. She said, I'm sorry. She said, can we rip the Band-Aid off? She said, y'all got a tendency of just tiptoeing. And y'all don't get to, y'all try to put the Band-Aid on it, but you tiptoe around it, the wound, and it's not getting the healing it needs. So, Carrie said that's what it felt like to her. She not trying to put on the spot, but she say, is that what it is or that's not what it is? And Letitia say not stepping away. She not answering her to step away. Because Carrie say it feel like to her that they trying to tell her she need to step away. Like, if she don't want to be here, she can step away. And Letitia say, no, that's not what that is. She said, I just want us to come up. And Carrie say she think a lot of people are afraid to share and be vulnerable because they're afraid that it will go bad. And Marie said, what I'm saying is why the collective started to begin with. She said it was a vision. She said, if we can't feel safe in doing that, it's time to step away. Don't be selfish. And Marie said, if any one of them don't feel comfortable or willing to share life experiences that we all have learned and grown from this group, it's not for you. And Latrice Ashley was like, you're right. I agree. And so Tamara said, I really wish I could stay, but they say, we know you finna go. She say, my baby come first. She say she got to put the baby first. So Tamara says she do not feel like leaving, but Simone come first. She say, however, if we are really moving forward, I'll make it up to the Bells later. So Latrice was saying that they feel like Tamara shouldn't be in a collective because she's not transparent as the other Bells, because she's transparent with Latrice. And Marie said, we're not talking about personal relationship. We're talking about relationships within a collective. Well, Latrice say, well, hell, let me kick you out too. And Marie say, girl, and start shaking her bell. They start playing. And Selena say, y'all stop. And so, Carrie say, well, we want to talk about the breakup now. I've been right. And Carrie was like, I've been right. Marie say, well, listen, you got to stay up out my business and tell her my business. And Carrie say, well, hell, do you tell it or you don't tell it? And then Marie say, you a big mouth person. We got to take baby steps. Carrie say, what? And then Marie said, since you like to be shady, since you like to be fan, here you go. She say my biggest fan. So she said, you really my biggest fan. So Karen say, well, I'm everybody's biggest fan. And so she gave her a fan, a big old fan, and say, since you Marie fan, here you go. She said, well, listen, I'm everybody's fan. And she got up, walking around fanning everybody. She say she the biggest fan. She say, and she say, I love everybody. So she walked around hugging everybody. And Karen say, girl, you can go and sit down and try to have your moment over me. She said, because one thing you know about me and you, we love to go back and forth and we love to spar. And she said, baby, I ain't even done a darn thing. Baby, I haven't done you a darn thing but hype you up. So in that regard, you welcome. So Letitia asked Carrie, what she got going on with the business and stuff. Like, excuse me, what she got going on? So Carrie said, well, I have a lot going on. These restaurants are killing me. Like her and Brittany say they gonna think about they got another store. It's gonna be great, but it's not as great. They're thinking about selling. And Marie was like, listen, that's the best thing for you. You need to close it. Marie agreed. She said, listen, it's not, even though you feel like you failed, that's has to be one of the best things because you got to get your money. A business is you lose it, but you get it back. And if it's not making you no money after all of this, that's the best thing. Because even though you put more in than you getting back, it shouldn't be that way. And so, everybody agreed. And Selena said, sometimes you keep it open, you can lose even more. And Latrice said in business, sometimes you just got to know when to walk away. And that goes hand in hand with success, hand in hand with success. And Carrie said with her, and Latrice said she don't want to be a failure. And that's not what it's about because she's not a failure. And Carrie said every time she started thinking about her business, it's like a weight get put on her shoulders. And, she may just have to close the doors forever. But it's good to be in a space with like-minded women, even though they have their differences, they care about her. And it feels good to be in a space to where she can feel love and support from them. And Letitia say, let's keep it here and we share. Hey, this what's going on with me right now. Anything else? She's saying, because we are sisters, we're going to leave it here. And Carrie say she heard some petty mess about Mike and Selena relationship. She say she would never say nothing intentionally or unintentionally to hurt Selena. Like she don't want to hurt Selena at all. And she don't want to say anything about it. So she says she's a beautiful person, but at the same time, she feel the pressure to put everything on the table. She say, I hope Selena feel like she can answer honestly. She said, typically, I would never bring nothing like this to the table like this. She said, I'm not, I'm a a woman person. And she say, anything anybody say or feel, she feel like, what they wrote about in there is transparency and authenticity. And she say some of the guys were talking and they have pillow talk with your husband and stuff. And she say that her husband shared with her that somebody said that something about that. She say it's probably some rumor. Carrie's about to cry saying this, y'all. It hurt her. True or not, lie or not, it bothers her. And Karen is coming from a good place. Like she's about to cry telling her this because it's weighing on her that this is what she heard. And it hurts her because number one, Selena has a good heart. Selena been through too damn much. Selena has been through a lot and she's overcame that and she's grown. And hearing something bad about Selena and something that somebody starting and about her relationship does break a lot of people's heart because Selena is a good person. Whatever we seen on the Dancing Dolls, that's just who she, her personality. But deep down, she really is a good person. Whatever her and So Gucci had, we noticed what the issue was, but she's really a good person. And Carrie said, people try to attack and run down something about an Amy and Mike and a baby. A baby and Mike. And Selena looking like, what? And she say, Carrie say, it's uncomfortable for me to say it. Latrice say, I'm sorry, I'm not taking care of outside baby. Selena say, baby, if that's the truth, it'll be over with. I'm not. Selena not with that man. If he got an outside baby, Mike is gone, done, steak, well done, cooked, well fried, crispy chicken, crispy fish. It's over. Finito. He never existed. Selena ain't finna take care of no. The only outside children she taking care of are her grandkids. And that's in the family. Grandchildren. She is a grandmother. A grandmother. If he already had kids before that, yes, yes. Hey, baby, how you doing? Nice to, but doing her? Hell no, baby. That's a wrap. Oh, well, put a fork in it. It's done. I'm gone. Goodbye. Selena act like that man don't exist, baby. Selena. That's like Karen, y'all saying, somebody saying, oh, I mess with Karen. Karen who? Hooger? Child, please. You ain't mess with that lady. That girl, what? And with Karen goes, Karen what? he won't be the black Bill Gates no longer. That these women, child, please, who? What? Y'all gonna see the waiting to exhale. Y'all gonna see, oh no, this is over. Baby, please, honey, what? This woman got 2, 3 grandkids and kids. Take care of who? She's helping with the grandkids. She already being a grandmother. Okay? Take care of what outside? Selena like to go outside. What? Girl, please. Selena say that'll be over. She say if that was the case, she say if Mike stepped out on her and fathered the child, she say there is no wedding, there's no us. She say it's over, baby. So we got with to be continued. So when we go into it, Letitia and Tamara have a conversation. You know, they're talking and they having a conversation. And, you know, and some things that they talk about with transparency. Selena questions Mike. That's what we're going to see. And Selena had a question of who brought it to the collector. Child, she want to know how did it get there. So then we're going to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let me change my thing. I want y'all to get you some wine, get you relaxed. You at work, say whoo and breathe, cause this is about to get a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot. We go back in. It went heavy, and then it went lighthearted. I want y'all to be prepared. Mind, body, okay? Breathe in, breathe out, because we about to get into it. This is a tough one. And it's a tough one for me. And I've been said I felt some type of way about their relationship, but that's not my call. But I knew we were going to get here when it came to Ken and Letitia. Trish. So Ken and Latricia, have on the talk with Dr. Kingston Franson. Now we continuance of it. Now Ken is saying that she is a liar, and Trish is saying, this is what I'm saying. This is the scenario. This is how it goes. This is what he does. This is what he does. Like every time she say this the same scenario. She said that he's insecure, and she said he has been acting insecure, and this is how it go. And Ken say I ain't insecure, and oh you saying this, and oh saying that. Like he say she lie about a lot of things. He say she's a compulsive liar, and you know this is how they argue. She say we both have anger issues. He say it's the same as what it's been. He said he told lies. He's not perfect. He not going to sit there and act like he never lied. And, you know, it's like she want to throw him under the bus all the time. Every time they get into the situation, Trish wants to throw him under the bus. And, you know, he say when it's time to throw me on the bus, you'll do it. But when it's time not to stand beside me, you don't. And that's when they both said they have anger issues. He says it's the same as what it's been. And Ken said he told lies. He ain't perfect like he perfect and never lied. He said, but at the same time, listen to what he's saying now. He said he want, he want to say Trisha lies because it's not that deep. He say it's things that hinder them or anything that will hurt them. He said, but it also makes him wonder, if you lying about the little stuff, what are you really lying about? Is it something else that you're lying about and you would never tell me? And, Dr. Francis say, why don't we talk about what's attracting you to each other and what's keeping you with each other? He said, so he want to let Trish go first. And Trisha say, she said that, she think that he's a great person. She thinks that he's fun. The fun that they used to have, that they know they can have. And, that she hoped that she can get back to the fun because they were like two fun people together. Like they had fun. The kids love him. She love him. She say it's like a hurdle they got to get past. And Ken say he missed that part too. He say, ain't gonna lie, we definitely had some amazing times. He say more or less, we have to stop letting outside stuff affect what goes into the household. Oh Lord, oh God, we ain't get to that episode yet, but y'all know what episode I'm talking about if you watch the show. He say they got to stop letting outside people and have control in the mindset of the dynamics of their household. He say they're not the only ones going through stuff. They say the kids are going through it too. And Trish say, she say she not arguing anymore. Dr. Francis say what? She say she not arguing anymore. And he recited that to Ken. And Trish say she just started a couple days ago. She say her daughter say she get tired of them arguing. And Trish say the kids are definitely noticing the energy between Ken and her, and they know they keep coming to her like they want them to go where it was to the beginning. Whatever they got to do, they can fix it. And her son saying he don't care what it is, they can fix it. So, Trish says she's ready to fix whatever they got to fix, work on what they got to fix. And Dr. Francis asks, do you love your kids? She said, yeah, of course. He says, so if you do love your kids, and your kids are always going to be in the middle of you and Kenny, both of y'all are going to have to get it together and create the safe space for the kids. Otherwise, they will leave the house, start looking for a safe place out there with somebody else. And kids say they can't keep feuding back and forth. It affects the kids. Like the kids are in the middle. This is going to hurt the kids. And he said he totally agree with that. And Dr. Francis say, they're going to shut it down. He said he want Ken to make a promise to Trish in terms of whatever it is that he will and he's willing to do regardless of her behavior. And Ken said there was Rocky. He said, I love you enough to be better with how I communicate. And he said, all right. And Trish, he asked Trish, Dr. Francis asked, was she good with that? She said, yes. And he asked, well, what you want to say? And she said, Kenny, I love you enough to hug you more, tell you I love you. And he said, that's it. That's it. That's all y'all need to do. He said, do that. And if you love them, love each other, love and hugging, communicate more effectively, they'll move along from there to make sure that relationship work out. So Trish says she think that her and Ken been through this so much the last couple of months. It's like they still have that fit. She still had that feeling of like what frustrated her. So she tried, but she still hold on to it a little bit more. It's a work in progress, and I hope they get through it because that was a lot. That was a lot. So then we go to Destiny. Destiny meet her siblings, honey. Destiny is in Detroit. She is in Detroit, Michigan. What up, though? She in Detroit, Michigan. Okay, so she go and meet her siblings. And as she walk in, she see her family. And she start laughing. They say, come on. She say, hey, everybody. And she saw her family. They all having, some food. They gave each other a hug. And Destiny say walking in, seeing her family together, it felt so good to see people that share the same DNA as her, and, fat cheeks and all that, she's elated to see all her family in one room, and she loves her family. So everybody giving her a hug. She gave her grandma a hug. She told her grandma hi. She said hey, and she said bringing all of them together is not only emotional for her, but emotional for her grandmother because she's been looking forward for her siblings. She's been looking forward to siblings for 30 years, and to be able to bring them all together is nothing but God. And the grandma was crying. Oh, grandma started crying. She's so happy to see all. She the matriarch. She want to see everybody together, everybody having a good time, having family moments. When grandmothers get older, they like to sit down and look at what they've built over time and what the kids are doing just to enjoy food. It's just the simple moments. And she want to check on her grandbabies, and her grandbabies should not be mistreated. Okay. So, she's sitting here hugging everybody. I think it's one of the siblings that she saw for the first time, one of the ones they were looking for. And her grandma just started crying. She just took her glasses off crying. She finally seen one of her grandbabies. And Destiny sat next to her and asked her was she happy. She said she's so happy, and she gave her a hug. And they all sat down. The family was crying, and she's saying, it's been, her auntie say it's been a long time coming. She say that her Destiny grandmother looked for them for years. She was looking for them. She never stopped looking for them. She was looking for them. She was looking for her grandbaby. She wanted to know if her grandbabies were okay, how they doing, are they being treated right. She was looking hard to find them. And her auntie said that every year she would post pictures on Facebook of the kids and say, hey, she anime seer, she want to meet, she been looking for him for years on Facebook. And she said Destiny was persistent, and her aunt said Destiny was going to find them. And her auntie say her grandma had that her mother had a telephone number. Destiny saw that one telephone number, and she made the phone call to got on the journey to everybody to talk. And she say, don't you look like your sister? That's what the grandma said. And she say, yeah, they do. Her sister looked like a younger Destiny. Like, if we want to know what Destiny looked like when she was younger, before, the hair and the makeup and the hey, how you doing? And where she at now, we could tell, like, I don't know, the sister looked like she in college. Um, you know, that's what she looked like. Like if Destiny had her hair out, flared out, the hairstyle she got. Yep. So the brother is there, the younger brother. I think it's three of them. All three of them are there. They're there. And Destiny does that young girl do look like Destiny. Like if they had the same hairstyle, they could pass. That's her sister. And Destiny say they walk alike. And then, the sister was like, she was wondering who does she look like? She always wondered who did she look like? Like, who does she look like? Who does she, and she looked just like, she looked like their mom. And then the auntie said that's a whole nother amazing story to tell. And Destiny say, who, Rhonda? She say, yeah. She say Rhonda. She say her sister as a young girl, she had admired her so much because she was the prettiest woman. And the other auntie started crying, y'all. She say she was that deal. She was that girl. She said she came through in a limousine with her top hats and her two-piece miniskirt suit. And Destiny say, wait, two-piece miniskirt suit? She say, who and what? Her auntie say, yeah. She say your mother was that deal. She was that girl. She say she was in a motorcycle clubs. She worked at different bars. And then Destiny say that he met her at the bar and she was singing. And her auntie say she prayed for her sister daily with her daily struggles. She got caught up in a time where Russ just came out. And she say only the strong survive with that epidemic. And she say the best decision she ever made was not to raise her children because there's no telling where they'll be. She say looking at, Jesse and Paula and Alan, which are the three siblings, and Nisha, that she is so proud that she don't know where they would be if they would been in the care of her mother, because she left them because she knew she couldn't take care of them. And Destiny started talking, and the grandma said that Nisha told her that she basically didn't want to bring her to the lifestyle. And Destiny saying to hear her mom and siblings say and talk about her past, and how beautiful she was, and to know that she had a life prior to her issues is beautiful to hear, but it's sad at the same time. And Destiny say she supposed to talk to her, to Rhonda, their bio moms, and she say she want to know how they feel about possibly going with her to talk to her and to see her. This is why I want to say this before we get into this, because I'm glad they showcased about the epidemic. And there are some people that has lost their lives or that are still going through this struggle because of this epidemic that they dropped in Black communities. To hear the stories, and some of y'all favorite rappers have been through them. In the 80s, how you wondered, your mama was always home, your daddy was home, and you had food on the table. Turn around, there's no food on the table. Lights are off sometimes. That epidemic was a crisis to put the Black community that had for each other, because they make it through anything and always there, to put it where that was the problem. And to hear the story that that's what they did is hurtful. That they would come in and do some corruptness like that, and now you have products of that who have bad relationships with their mothers, who have to learn how to do things without being nurtured. It's crazy. And people think that's really a norm. That's like a culture thing. And it's not. But shout out to Destiny and Carlos for showcasing this, because the epidemic, from what I heard, I mean, I was born in the last 2 years before it went out. In the 80s was bad. There were people, that's how the STDs you can't get rid of started during the epidemic. Yep. And people were scared. They were really terrified. I would hear stories about people say, I was just so scared, I was terrified, and this and that. And in the 80s, it got a little worse. And shout out to them for showcasing this, like, seriously. So then, she asked them if they want to be around to see the kids. And, that one of the siblings said that she did want to meet her. They say that this morning she wanted to meet her, and then it changed. And she said it's a strong no for two of them. It's a no. They say they good, and they were asked why you don't want to see it. He said he feel like he don't need to see her. He don't have nothing to say to her right now. And it was like, you got to respect that, and that's a lot. Jesse don't want to meet her, and they can understand she a handful, and he's protecting himself and setting boundaries, which I understand, and he respect that. He said Paula wanted to meet her, and she said it's concerning because she's a pistol, but she got to support her sister. And she said everybody else's experiences is different because that's your sister, that's your daughter, but to be her child is different. And they say, especially for Destiny, she says for her because she's one of the ones that she actually had and they got taken away. And she said when they talk about her, it's kind of hard to see her in the light that y'all see her in, unfortunately. And Destiny started crying, and that's true because she didn't know her mama was this girl. She was that girl, and she didn't know that her mama was living lavish. Like, baby, mama was doing it. Limousines, outfits. She was like, my mama was, yeah. She was shocked. So then we get into Letitia and Marceau. Marceau visit his uncle Rick. Marceau is and Maurice, they go visit the family. They have family in Michigan as well, outside of Detroit. And so they pull up. They gave hugs. Uncle Rick told Maurice he ain't missed no meals. He gave a hug to Kimmy. He said she look amazing. He said, you still with this guy? She said, I still am. He saw Letitia, he gave her a hug and a kiss. And he said, hey to Marceau. And they gave him a hug, and they talked. And Maurice said he really excited to catch up with his dad and Uncle Rick. And, Maurice said Uncle Rick been in his life his whole life. He said he don't remember a time when he wasn't around in his life. And Kimmy said she loved Uncle Rick because he loves her. And so they meet Maurice and Marceau's dad as well. And Marceau said he decided to come up there and hang out with Uncle Rick and his dad. We're so glad to see all the people and see their family. So they went ahead and showed them around their property. And, and Letitia said she liked to see it, Uncle Rick, because Uncle Rick reminds her of Marceau of what he'll be like in the future. I see it. Marceau don't hold. Marcel don't hold nothing back. Marcel just said Uncle Rick look like he a jokester and he just gonna keep it real with you. He not gonna cut corners. That's Marcel. And so, he said, yeah, it's pretty cool. So, they were saying about the business and how they were going to bring the high school kids to come to the facility that they have. And they say the biggest issue is that if they 29, 39, and 49, they apply to the academy, they're 59. They say, what is life like at 40 with no skills? And they were going to fix that. So they ordered this facility to where they can help them build a house and stuff like that. And men that are in their 40s and stuff that have no skills, they come to their academy and help them with the mindset and their learning how to go ahead and go forward with building. And Maurice asks, is they teach design and stuff like that in a special sauce. And, Uncle Rick say he think that's a gift. You don't teach that so much, that's a gift. And, Kimmy says she not quite sure what's going on with Daddy Scott. He's usually a lot participant, but, he's more vocal and not standoffish. But she say she noticed that he's a little standoffish, and maybe because he's there to see Uncle Rick. She say she don't know what's going on, but she do think it's something going on. So then we get into back to Destiny. So Destiny talks to her mother, Rhonda, and she says she's overwhelmed and everything. So, and her auntie say this is a challenge. Her auntie got her little cup, child, and Destiny just standing there, just can't say nothing. And her auntie was like, "Yeah, this is a challenge for real, girl." While she sipping her cranberry juice. Not the auntie. I like her auntie. Her auntie like, baby, I don't know how to, and Destiny like, she'll know how the camera's gonna fit, but her auntie like, I'm just gonna sip my cranberry juice and what I made. I know my sister right now. I know how my sister is, and I know how she can be. So I'm gonna sip my drink and pray that this go good, because I need a drink for this. This is a lot. This is a lot. And we've had this on camera. This is major. Like, I don't know. And not major like, oh my God. No, this is like, oh snap, they really finna see this. Like this. We're used to this. But you gonna have the people, either it can go good or bad. And I believe there are some people that is telling Destiny, I can relate to this. I can relate to what you're going through. And there's some people like, dang, Destiny, I didn't even know, girl. You did right by not there on Destiny's side. And hey, you never know. So, Destiny says she don't know how the cameras will affect her mom in the conversation. She was like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to be this vulnerable to everybody in this interaction to be shared with the world? I just want to be honest. And she said, she go back feeling embarrassed sometimes, but she has to sit in, and what she talk about in therapy, we're two different people. Their paths are totally different. And, she's her own person, even though she's her daughter, and her stitching of her because she birthed her, but she just have to sit in that. And she says it's a lot of emotions. So the girls are there, and Destiny is crying. She hugged her sisters, and she says she's trying not to have an anxiety attack because it's so much. And Destiny said it's a big moment, like it's very vulnerable moment, and she's also juggling the feelings of her siblings and just how it's gonna go. She says she don't know how she's gonna act because she can cut up, and she feels responsible for her behavior in this situation. So they all meet up. I'm not sure who house they at. I think they're at the aunt's house, and the car pulls up. And the one of the aunties are walking in. So they walking in. She's holding Destiny mom's hand, Rhonda's hand, Miss Rhonda. And Miss Rhonda come in with her bob, honey, and her glasses. And she say hello and her chain on. And she walking in. And Destiny says she very shocked because she haven't seen her mother be so thin. She say she's shocked because she say her mama's been thin, but she never seen her be this thin. And she say she in shock. She say she's always been tall, lean woman, not really heavy. She say, but she say it's kind of alarming that she's thin. And she say, Destiny say hello. She say, how you been? And she say she been making it. And she introduced and said, Paula. She said, that's a hey. She said, how does it feel to see your daughter? She said, it's good to see her. And she said she hasn't seen her since birth. And she don't know what to say. And she say she looked just like me. She say, I see now. She say what everyone is saying. She saying you look like your daddy. And she say your father just passed. Oh. And Destiny say, man, lady, can you ever soft? Destiny like, dang, can you be a little soft about it? But I don't know if she was looking for her dad, but she let her know that her dad had recently just passed. So, yeah, I guess. I don't know how she was trying to say that, but Destiny felt like she could at least been a little more nurturing and gentle with it than just say, oh, yeah, your dad just passed, Like it's a conversation, not like, listen, I know you've been looking for me and you're probably looking for your dad, but your dad is no longer here, but I'm here. But yeah, I see Destiny. I see baby. Oh, poor thing. And Destiny saying it seems like she's just so disassociated from just life at all. Like she just, took her a minute to realize that's her daughter sitting there that she never met. And she seems that she gave away. And Destiny was like saying, well, you remember when we got taken away? And she, Miss Rhonda said, yeah, I had walked by y'all, but y'all was in the squad car. She said, we saw you when we were leaving the neighborhood, they go our mama, and they kept driving. And she said the life that she was living, that she couldn't have them in that. And she said it's not that she didn't want her kids. She said anything could have happened to them. So she gave them to her mother, and she said it gave her more of a leeway than the soul until she had her children because they were already taken care of. Why not? And she said she felt like she had nothing to live for in a lot of times. And everybody just looking like, wow. And Destiny said she struggled with the thought of her just making the right decision, because the right decision to her would for her to get clean and get her kids. And Miss Rhonda say, I don't know how y'all feel, but y'all can express how you feel. And Destiny say, you don't have nothing you want to say to any of us? And Miss Rhonda say, well, what I'm supposed to say? She say, hi, children. She say, you got something you want to say to me? And Destiny say, no, I think I said enough. And she said, Miss Rhonda say, you made me some promises that I called you. She said, I don't even know what you're talking about. She said, I don't care, Destiny. And Destiny say, I made you some promises? Like, what promises did I make to you? And she say, Miss Miranda say she's not going to go through this emotional roller coaster anymore. And Destiny said, well, what promises did I make to you that I didn't make to you? That I made to you? And Miss Rhonda said nothing. She said, exactly. She said, because I didn't make no promises. And Miss Rhonda called Destiny a liar. And she say, I was going to come help you. And I told you I was going through so much stuff, and I come help you. And she say, I talk to you all the time. And Destiny saying, what did you do? I think Destiny tried to put her mama in rehab, and her mama reneged. And Destiny was finna pay for the rehab. I think that's why Destiny went through financial hardship. And why she went through some things. It made sense. Destiny was trying to get her mama and get her some help. Poor Destiny. Destiny say, baby, I can't go broke for this. I know that. Destiny, listen. I understand. You ain't got to explain. I understand. It makes sense now why you went through some things, because you was trying to get your mama right. Girl, you ain't have this. Girl, it's okay. It's okay, Destiny. Now, that's just what my personal opinion. It's okay. I understand. I get it. I'm not mad at it. I get it. You really spent all you had. Your hopes was to help her, and you feel like she didn't want the help. I understand, Destiny, and that hurt you. That put you back in that place to where you felt like, damn, you don't care about me. Do my feelings matter? I get it. So Destiny say, you went back and got back on the streets. And Miss Rhonda say she ain't on the street, she live in a house. And then Destiny say whatever. And she said whatever. She say you live where you live. And then the Miss Rhonda say you doing you and your daddy. You doing whatever for your daddy, but you ain't helping me. And she say, so leave me alone. She say, all right, I got it. And Miss Rhonda say, it ain't about me, it's about you. She said, can you help me, mama? No. And Destiny say, what you want me to help you do? To get me an apartment, I pay my own rent, and I got my own income. And so Destiny looked at her sibling and said, you see what I'm talking about? The entitlement. And then, Miss Rhonda say, what did you do to anybody for anybody else? And so Destiny said, can we wrap? I'm done. And she said, Paula, please, nice to meet you. And Destiny said, thank you for coming, Rhonda. And then Miss Rhonda said, you got something to eat. And she said, you ignoring me now? Okay, we done. And so they wrap it up. And Miss Rhonda said, yeah, I'm finna go. I always talk about your daddy. Yeah, I'm talking about your daddy. I was talking about your daddy. And so Destiny got up and walked away. Miss Rhonda got up and walked away. And Destiny said, she done. She done. She done. It made me sad. Most people that struggle with addiction, and her auntie knew this was going to happen. Her auntie Janelle said this is challenging. Most people that's struggling with addiction it's a problem. I think until when she get herself together, I think she'll be okay. And her mama tried to protect her feelings and not understand that she did something wrong. I don't feel like her mama need her own apartment. I feel like Destiny got to find somewhere that will make her stay there and get the help, because her mama need therapy too. Because there's some things and trauma that she dealt with while going through this. And I think what her mama don't want to do is show the hurt and feel like I'm a bad mother because they took my kids. It's okay to say you messed up as a mother. That was a mistake. But what the problem is, you don't want to fix the mistake. And that bothers Destiny a lot more than anything else. And I feel like that should be done. A lot of people saying, well, why the auntie sitting there smiling? This is who, you want me to tell you why the auntie's smiling? Her auntie said it. Her auntie telling you, this is who she is. Well, she gonna be who she is. They said it. They already knew when the conversation was, when people saw the conversation of, yeah, it was like, yeah, that's her. Y'all sure y'all ready for that? Y'all didn't hear them aunties say y'all ready? Y'all sure y'all ready for that? It's a lot. They know. They know. They know it's a lot. They know. So then we get into Kimmy. Letitia and Kimmy go to talk to Marceau dad. So they met up with Marceau dad. They gave each other a hug. And she said, the way he kissing on them like they bougie when they come in, mwah, 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 like bougie. They, And Marceau and Maurice went to the school to do a tour. So Tisha and Kimmy said they're gonna hang back and talk to Daddy Scott and see, if they can see what's going on. And they asked how he's been feeling today. He said he been pissed, but he been good. They asked why he was pissed. He said he can't discuss it. It's family business. We family. He say once you say it, you can't unsay it. You can't unsay it, and once you do it, you can't undo it. And they say that's true. I don't think he wanted to express the issues on the camera. It's something that he didn't want to express on the camera. And he said, and they agreed that that's true. And so, what basically whatever he want to say is going to get out there, it's already going to be out there. He's old school. All of us don't need to know the business. Meaning, if I tell you that's between us, but other than that, it's between the family. This is family. Meaning, no cameras, this between us. We don't need the world know we got problems. And that's how older people are. That's how they is, child. You know, what problems? That's between our household. That's between the family. That's the problem. See, I'm telling you what they say. That's the problem. Not the whole internet know everybody business. Hey, listen, I respect it. They old school. They don't believe putting everything out there on the table for the fam, for everybody to judge and see. That's in the house. They don't believe that. And I agree with that. You can put it out there with everybody in front on the table what it is, but you don't need a camera. You don't need your phone. When it's something like that, you don't need none of that. So people can say, ooh, I don't believe that. Ooh, I knew it. Ooh, that's wrong. I see where he's coming from. So, Kimmy say, I can only get what you give me. She say, but listen, for the record, we love hanging around you. And he say, really? And they say, absolutely. They put a smile on his face. They say they loved him to come to visit and hang out with him. They love when he go around and make sure everybody get a piece of him, for the week or whatever. They love to see him. He say it took a while for him to do that because he was still dealing with his son outside the workforce. And, when he said the workforce is one of important things in the world, he say a little tidbit, a lot of times working is the other woman. So I think I know what their daddy pissed off about. And I know what child he's talking about. I know he's seen that episode and that scene where Kimmy and Maurice had. I think that's what he's talking about. And when he sat here and she said they don't do what they used to, and he said, I do think about divorce, it became a problem because in his mind, I didn't raise you to just throw around and keep getting married and getting divorced. I raised you to have stability and work on your marriage. I think that's who he talking about. But okay, I understand. I got a feeling because he said sometimes work is the other woman. Kimmy was just talking to him last episode about how, Well, anyway, let's get back to the recap. I think I know where we're going with this. So he say, and then you lie to yourself, but I'm making money. He said, I lied to myself, and the least I'm doing is for the main woman. He said when he was younger and the kids were growing up, he never would do the little small things, but he tried to show up in some of the major things. And what happened was when he became a non-compensated employee for the federal government, he said he asked his kids, why didn't you write me and send cards? And Marceau said, and we didn't know you. Oh, I told you the kids. He said he was related, that there was no relationship. And he said he couldn't get mad at him and get upset with him because he told me the truth. He said it's his opportunity to repair that. Kimmy say he say some of the best stuff. Was there like an ages clip for him? He say, I'm telling you, she said, I'm not really telling. He say, I pooped. He say, I inched around enough. He say, when you take some time to sit down and be with yourself, it makes a difference. And Kimmy say, this is really good stuff and good conversation. He say, do you have it with them? He say, when they have time. He say, when they have time. He say, help with your father. He say, Genesis 1. He say, it sounded like a cycle. What I told y'all, it sound like a cycle. That's the same cycle. He's upset with the boys. And Letitia said she used to tell Marceau early on in their marriage that money comes and goes, and time, once it's gone, you don't get back. And Tisha saying every generation you have someone that has to bring the cycle in order for it to stop. Tisha said she was happy to sound that the father acknowledged the problem and say that I'm going to stop this. He said he see it in his kids. And it's a problem and they got to stop. He say, so kudos to him that, she said kudos that he realized that. He say, I've been living vicariously through my grandsons. He said at the graduation when you had the party for the buzzards, he said he thanked God he had the opportunity to see all the stuff that was going on. He said it was good for him to be right in the moment. And Kimmy said she's thanked when you're incarcerated, give you a lot of thinking time, and it gave him time that he got some regrets that he missed with his boys. Oh, he was in so he feel like him missing and being where he was incarcerated. It's a repetitive with just working and trying to and they say that Kimmy say she wondered if they know how they feel. She say you see the boys and the grandkids, and it's a measure of trying to spend more time with the grandkids to make up for the kids. Well, he didn't spend time with his sons. He said he want to spend more time with the family, and they told him he's doing a great job. So he mad at himself. Now, Maurice and Marcel, I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't mean throw no shots. I love y'all. Y'all crazy as hell. Crazy as hell, but he mad at himself. Listen, they doing good. Listen, yeah, you can be mad at the time you lost, but still be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself. They ain't turned out like that. They married, went to college, businesses on TV. Like, they did great. Paying for college. They might be talking ish and cussing people out every once in a while. I like this episode. I do. I like seeing the family dynamics and where they come from. I love it. So then we go to Destiny. And she outside trying to stay calm. And the sibling is looking like this a lot. And Destiny said the tension is always high because she's a reminder of the pain of what she went through, and especially losing her brother. And her brother no longer there. And then there are only 2 kids that she actually had before she had, these kids, and that she raised to a certain point. And she says she's a reminder every time that she sees her of that pain and her choices. And Destiny says it's already confirmation of all things she already knew. And she wasn't well. She thought maybe she have something for Paula and had something more, but she talked to her like they cool. So, girl, we hear Miss Rhonda singing a gospel song, and she's singing Jesus Walk With Me. She can sing. And Destiny saying, listen to her sing, and she knows it's a beautiful moment. And that's the same voice she remembers singing to her as a little girl. And she says she got a beautiful voice, and she still does. She do. Even after all of that hard life she lived through. She still saying for God. She says it's just beautiful to her. Her brother thanked her for bringing them together. And she did a family for service, and she met her long lost sibling, and he appreciated her for that. And then her sister Paula came out, and she said, I'm glad you got to meet her. She said, I'm grateful. And she said, it's not ideal. She said, but I got to know who I look like. I think Paula's thing was, I want to know where I come from, who I look like. Like, I want to know about my family. I don't know. And I think Destiny kind of wanted her to have a different perception, but I think Paula knowing it was okay, now I know. Maybe she wants to know more about where she's from, the memories, and she want to know a lot. Her family history. That's how Paula looking at it. Like, I want to know everything about myself. Because that's part of who she is. And Destiny say, usually she's just a bubbly cheerleader. And he say they understand. They say they understand everything. She say, Destiny say it's different because she's never had experience, and they always had her in and out. And they just meet her for the first time and living a full life is different. And Destiny say she want to make sure that her mother and her have a one-on-one, and for her to know that she still love her, and you know her decisions affected her and her other kids, but they're still her mother, and she wouldn't be here without her. I think Destiny is stepping in as the oldest. Her goal as an older sibling is to protect, and that's why, you know with this situation, she wanted to protect them. Like, I gotta protect them because she know how her mama is, and as an older sister, I get that. That's just how it is. No matter how old they is, you still feel like you gotta protect your sibling. That's your sibling. You the oldest. You gotta step in when it needs to be stepped in. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a full-time job. We don't get any recuperations for it. Raising these younger siblings sometimes it's a lot, but it's great. And I'm glad that Destiny knows she do have siblings, because, she lost her brother. That was her protector. So now she has to be protected for her siblings. And I like that for her. I like that. I'm glad she does. Because I thought Destiny was the only child. And I was like, what happened to her mama? What happened? Now that we get to see, no, Destiny not the only child. Destiny had a brother. Destiny has other siblings. She just met her mom's been battling with some things. Destiny, I like this. I like this. I like it. I like that. I like that, girl. Keep up the good work. I'm catching what you put. I like this. I like that we get to see you, who you are. We've always seen Letitia mom, we seen Kimmy parents, and we seen Miss Nell B. I said we seen everybody family, and I'm so glad that you was like, okay, I don't want to show what I go through, but I'm gonna have to. We saw your dad, but we didn't get into the depth of your story. And I like that you did this. And there's a lot of people that's sitting here and saying, hey, I understand what she's going through. It might not be nobody mama. It might be a sibling or a family member. You never know, a friend, and you see how it can be. So she sat down and talked to her mom, and she told her she getting ready to go. And she said she just wanted to talk to her by herself. And, she wiped her hair on her face, and she said, I want you to meet your daughter. And she said, I did. She said she didn't want to do it by herself. So, and she said she don't have to. And she said, I know, I heard y'all, that brought tears to my eyes. And she said, I want you to know, regardless of how bad we go back and forth. And Miss Rhonda said, we don't go back and forth. She still, I think, Destiny, but you got to understand, she going to talk to you like that. Miss Rhonda still think you are the child that got taken from her. That's the memory she got of you. And don't think she talking to you crazy. She talking to you like you still that little girl, because that's the last time she saw you as a little girl. Now she see as a grown woman. It's like, what the hell? You're still a little girl in her mind, because when you left her, you was a little girl. And she said, we don't go back and forth. You go back and forth, and your daddy is crazy. And Destiny say, you talking to me? You talking to me? She say, I'm talking. She say, yeah, I'm talking to you. And she say, Destiny say, I just want to say this to you. I love you. She about to cry. And she say, I love you. And I just want you to know that. And Miss Rhonda said, you got a funny way of showing it. She said, I can only show it the way you know how. So she gave her a hug. She said, be safe going back. She said, go ahead and live your life. Don't worry about me. And she said, that's how I feel. And she said, that's the way it is. And Destiny say, as an adult, she don't hold the pain anymore of her mother letting them be taken away, because she went through the process of forgiving her. She said, as a mother herself, she couldn't imagine not having her son, like not having her baby. And she said she can't imagine that. And she said her empathy has allowed her to forgive her. I think Destiny mama pushed her away not because of anything but to protect Destiny. And she want her to understand, I don't need you. What I remember Miss Frankie told Keisha, I want you to live your life, baby. Don't worry about me. Because she know Destiny when these cameras go off, Destiny gonna worry about her. And Miss Frankie said, if anything, don't worry about me. She said, I'm an addict. This gonna always, this is who I am. And Keisha said, I understand that, but I want to worry about you because you're my mother. And she said, yeah, baby, but you have to be okay with that. I think Destiny mother is forcing her to be okay with that. And Destiny think that's how she is. No, Destiny, she's telling you, if anything, be okay with it. You did all you could do. You've been there. I might feel like because you told me no and I know to do this, but this is who I am. This is who I am. Don't worry about me. You live your life. You've been good without me. It's gonna be fine. And that's her funny way of her showing it, but that's what it is. It sucks, but that's just how it is. You know, again, and we saw Keisha forgave Frankie, and Keisha would be recording and doing stuff, even married, and go find Frankie. We saw the movie and look for her and try to get her home and put this money into rehab. And Keisha was doing a lot. And I think Destiny Mama don't want her to do that. She don't want to put her through that. And that's a funny way of showing it, but hey, she'll come around, girl. Give it some time. And then we go to where we gonna have what's gonna happen next. Ken and Trisha having a conversation about what Tisha said about some DMs, and Tisha is talking to Destiny about things about guarding herself and masking pain, and why Destiny is feisty and aggressive, and she say assertive. And then Martell sit down with Ken and then talk to Marceau, and Marceau tell Tisha to chill out, girl, chill out, okay? Now we finna get into the real details of it, child. Baby, can somebody call Dr. Jackie? Let me open my chips. Because Dr. Jackie clocked in last night. Dr. Jackie say, no, my check cleared. Dr. Jackie clocked in like it got a little real. Child. Y'all gonna hear me crunching and talking? I hope y'all got your chips. I'm gonna give y'all 5 minutes. Y'all gonna get y'all some chips. Get your soda if you're on lunch. Get comfortable. Hold on, I'm gonna give y'all 5 minutes. Hold on. Hold on, let me get my soda. Because they were clocked in last night, baby. And it say, ain't no new one. This is what we got. Everybody came to work. Hold on, let me pop my soda. Because, baby, it was good. Hold on now. Let me make sure y'all got it. Because we got serious last night. Dr. Jackie clock T. Toya clock T too. Everybody had something to say. Baby, Let's get into it, child. Honey bunny. So we get to the reunion, baby. Toya speaks out and lets it be known that people need to stay out of people relationship. So Andy say, listen, it's been 6 months since we filmed. You know, and everybody wants to know. This is a question that somebody asked. Oops, sorry, I'm glupping. Tori, are you still in your house? Are you still in the house? Did you move again? That person say, Tori, are you still in the house? And she said, well, of course. And they say, well, you know, you have moved homes. And she said, yeah, I purchased them all. You know, okay, ownership. She say, I purchased all my homes. And then he asked Toya, it's Heavily, I'm sorry, do she think she purchased her home? And Heavily say, no, I think she, probably rented a few years, got a profit. And Toya could get a condo by herself somewhere. And Quan say, ooh. And Andy say, by herself. She say, I mean, yeah, you said it out loud. Hey, mysterious eyes. And Contessa say, you mean you didn't mean that? You didn't mean that. She say, I didn't mean that. I just feel like she going to sell it, get a great profit and move something and something higher with her husband. And then Andy say, the question was that someone said maybe if Toya treated Eugene. Hold on, let me get my explosion. These questions can't talk. Toya was in a hot seat last night. Toya looked cute, but was in a hot seat. He said that somebody asked maybe if she treat Eugene a little better. Oh, child. I thought Toya sat next to Andy because she brought it this season when she did. Excuse me. But at the same time, Toya was getting popped. She was getting popped last night. They say maybe if she treat Eugene with much respect, maybe he won't spend that much time on the road. And Mimi was looking like, ooh, child. And, Toya said, yeah, I think that's so unprojecting, like other people on that side of the couch. She doesn't have a clue what's going on in my home. We don't yell all the time, but, it happens. It happens in everyone's household. And then Andy say, Simone, you didn't hold back, but Toya skipped work that party. Looked like a day in the life for her. Do you stand by that? She say she stand by that. She say Toya has a great life. She keeps an immaculate house. She keeps house up well. No one would ever go there and say it need to be pressure washing. Oh my God. Wait a minute. They throwing shots already. We in part one. Not Simone say she keeps it up and nobody has to go to her house and say it needs to be pressure washed. Oh my God. Mariah? Not what they do. Now what you got to do? What? Wait a minute. She and Dr. Heavenly was like, So then they showed the clip. I think Mariah might be coming back or doing a little pop in and out. So remember Mariah say, your house is nasty. You need to pressure wash this shit. Bravo, Petty. They showed the clip. They showed the clip, honey. They showed the clip. My bad, y'all. No, so they showed the clip. Mariah said that, and she said we all gonna be up for contamination. And then Heavenly say, ooh, the bird so quiet. So Quad say, you mean the house got to be pressure washed? Wait a minute. Wait. Y'all messy as hell, Bravo. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop because y'all didn't have to do that. Baby, why did y'all throw that straight like that to Dr. Heavily? Not Simone, you clocked in. You clocked in for real with the overtime check. And Quan say, wait a minute, they say the pressure washing, baby. They got the pressure washing. They got the pressure washing out there. And then Andy say that Toya say some women like love watching Eugene, and women like love watching to see her and Eugene argue, and it seems like she's doing that herself. So Toya say, ooh. And Toya say, she think that it's very easy for certain ladies to deflect. And she say, you haven't seen any cheating in her relationship. Her husband's not telling me he don't trust me with my son. She say, so let's start with the shenanigans. Dr. Heavenly like, who is she talking about? She say, who is she talking about? Is she talking about me? Who she talking about? She say, so let's stop. She say, everyone on this stage should honestly stay out of my relationship. And Heavenly say, if you would never do what you did, we'll have nothing to say. And Toya say, unless we want to really tell. They say, go ahead, girl, go ahead, open the door. Open the book. And Quad was like, wait, hold on now. And they was like, yeah, then her and Dr. Beaver say, yeah, go ahead, open the book. Go ahead and tell what you got to tell. Toya say, so Quad was like, wait, no, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. Wait, hold on now. Wait a minute. What is she talking about? Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Slow your world. And Heavenly say we can open a book on her relationship as well. So Toya say, really? She said, well, let's talk about it. She say a whole next door neighbor talking about your husband and the things that he does. And Dr. Heavenly say, I got a whole things on your husband and what he does as well in that hospital. I need to get my hair growth oil on my edges after this. Y'all are going at it. Honey. Child. Ooh. Ooh, y'all making sure y'all stay number 2 on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Y'all compete with each other. Because y'all are bringing it. Child. And then Dr. Heavenly saying why he was fired. So Contessa like, wait, what? Excuse me? Toya say, and I beg to differ. Oh. Wait a minute. So Heavenly said, let's do it. Let's put it on the table. So Quad say, let's stay out of everybody's relationship. Make sure that that floor is all the way through. Toya say that part. She say, make sure it's all the way through. And Dr. Jackie say, I do have to say, you have spoken on marriages. And so Quad looking like, oh, okay, well, what did she do? And then Dr. Jackie say, she like, Quad looking like, oh, well, okay, Dr. Jackie, well, go ahead. She say, I do have to say you spoken on marriages. She say, you spoke on on my marriages. And Toya say, she said, I only spoke after Jackie. And anything I spoke about your marriage has been after you brought it to the table. Dr. Jackie say, I never had a conversation. So Toya, they show when she went on Watch What Happened Live about Curtis talking about he has his hands on a couple of different weights on the show and her being one of those individuals. And in 2017, when he pulled Toya down on the left, Dr. Jackie say, I never spoke about you or Eugene in no disrespectful way. And Toya say, man, that age. And Jackie say it look good on some of us. She say, I mean menopause, and Contessa say, I'm in menopause, And Quad say, don't age shame. Come on now, Toya about to be 50. She don't look it. But she say, don't age shame. And she say, baby, I'm about to be 50. I can talk age all I want. And she say, Jackie, nobody coming to you about Curtis like I could be. And Jackie say, okay, and nobody's coming to you. Toya say, Curtis talked my husband down and had a whole conversation with him. And Dr. Jackie say, as he should have. And then Toya say, no, he should not. He should be the last to talk about anybody's man. And Dr. Jackie say, oh, honey, you need to talk about yours. So Andy said, so Toya, when you watch the footage from your party, you read Regine out. What was your reaction to seeing it? And she say, horrible. She say, I reacted poorly. She say, that day I was so upset. They didn't show when Quad locked herself in the closet. She was spiraling. And she say she don't want to spiral, not in front of people that don't love her family. And she say for people to keep attacking our relationship and attacking her, she just want to say, hey, with love. Hey, she wanted to say, well, hey, Toya, are you having a little problem? And she said, they did that. Quad say, we did that. We came to you with love. We did that. And Toya say, you did. I didn't say that. You came to my closet. You did, absolutely. And Constance say, obviously, Andy, we have to take a little bit of responsibility as well, because when that happened, a true group of friends would have said, girl, okay, party's over, let's just go. And Mimi say, no, but my question is, and Toya say, that is not what you did. And Mimi say, at the point, she didn't do anything to her. And Toya say, she literally said, your husband say, oh my God, I would never. And you know, Dr. Mimi, Andy told Dr. Mimi, she said their marriage was cringy and everything, giving something else. And she said it was cringy. And Toya said she could have kept it to herself, but she was gossiping. Dr. Mimi said she encouraged Portia, Toya, and she said she was the first one to leave. But Toya said you was the first one that asked to leave. And Dr. Mimi said she trying to encourage their relationship. And you know, she projecting onto Mimi, and she said something messy. And she say, I can see right now you don't own Ish, and that's why you on that end of the couch. Next. Child. So then Toya and Dr. Heavenly get back into it. Hold on, let me take a sip. Child, they went through a whole disagreement, child. Hold on, I gotta take my sip. They about to have me choke. There it go. They clocked in. So Andy asked Toya about Dr. Heavenly talking about Eugene manhood. Okay, so they showed the clip how Dr. Heavenly say her man love her too, but his manhood is bigger than Eugene, right? That she sent in a chat and said, let's go. Dr. Heavenly said it had nothing to do with his manhood. It had everything to do with her taking shots, just like she did just now, about, you know, the things that she says and the things that she would say about the shots that she take. And, you know, and Toya say the shots about a purse, and she say, you went to my husband peeing like you wanted to put in your mouth. Toya, what? Like you want to put it? Girl, what? Girl, Quad looking like, oh my God. Baby, what? And Andy say, oh boy. And she say, worry about your husband manhood. Ain't nothing bulging in your husband pants, honey. And Dr. Heavenly say, my man is from Barbados, bitch. Dr. Simone start laughing. And so then Dr. Jackie got a question that Andy read. They say, is Toya was the lead in throwing the Met Gala? Heavenly said it was to teach her a lesson. What lesson was you trying to teach Toya? Jackie said when it comes to parties, that's the girl. And they felt like Toya would do a great party. And she will also learn it's not easy. And he asked that Toya prove themselves. And everybody say that she did an amazing job. I'm waiting on Toya's response. I'm scared. I'm scared. Eugene, I'm scared. I need a prescription. Cause she say the most outlandish shit, man. She back. Oh my God. So Dr. Heavenly say she did a good job. Um, Toya say it mean a tons that they did say that, but it doesn't erase the fact. And Dr. Heavenly say, "Oh God, that it was so much that was so much that she went through." Honestly, Dr. Heavenly say you went through, and Dr. Simone looking at her like, "Girl, you told us nothing. Like what?" Child, she say, "Well, let's get the group chat." So Toya though brought out, child, all the text messages she made on a lab coat, child, of the group chat text messages. And there was a laser point on there about everything they said. She said, make sure you put both sides of the conversation. And it was a big Med coat. And it was about the Met Gala. That she got all the group text message group on the Met Gala on a lab coat. She said 24 to 48 hours to put on that them text messages came from before the Met Gala. And also, Dr. Simone said, this is crazy. It is. Everybody's name is on the thread. Everybody's name. Excuse me. He said it's very thing that should be on a poster board. And Dr. Jackie said, we said she's very creative. I'm done. And she quite capable. Child. Oh, so then we get into Quad when she talked about her and King no longer together. The hell? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Quad and King, Quad confirms that her and King are no longer together. Sorry, y'all, I had got phone calls. They can hold on. And you know that, yeah, she said they're no longer together. She was very hopeful. Andy said he was hopeful. And, you know, she thought that he was the one. And Andy asked what led to the breakup. Was it mutual? She said it was mutual. She said that and they went and do very well towards the last year, and they tried, and unfortunately they couldn't align on some of the fundamentals and what it takes to have a long-standing relationship. So people asked if anyone been in touch with King, and Quad said, Contessa said, oh yeah. She said, so did you not want King here? Quad said, I didn't say that. She said, no, we were asking. And Toya said King told them that she didn't want him now. And she said, well, you guys are talking to my ex. And then Toya said, you know, he looked out for Ashley for his birthday, which was amazing. Child, no. And how she had him get a driver's lesson of that expensive car that she rented for Ashton to learn to drive. Child. And she said it was a beautiful thing. And she said he's friends with Eugene. And she said, honestly, he wanted to be here. And he felt like there was more to the story to tell. He said, y'all went from so in love and lovey-dovey and whispering, it was so cute, to, she said, woo. She was like, it was cringy to watch. And Quad said when the relationship was good, it was good. And when it was not, it was over. And she said that what she liked to do is move forward in a positive manner. Excuse me, she don't look back in the rearview mirror. And she said he is not present. And that's the end of that. And then someone asked, now that Quad and King is no longer a thing, Heavenly decides to speak on and spin the narrative that King was faking a relationship for fame. And Quad needed a storyline too. And Dr. Heavenly say, I never done that. Quad say, let me speak. Heavenly, a storyline? I never come up with a storyline. And she said she never said that. She said in all seasons, I'm not trying to figure out what's next. I don't want that type of anxiety on me. She said what I do is go with currently what's happening in my life. And to say it was a fake relationship, it was always real for me. And I loved him with my entire heart. And not only that, who's going to spend the amount of money that I have spent on IVF and then traveling to go to Ghana. She say the IVF is so different because she said taking the shots. She talking fast, taking the shots day in and day out, and constantly going to the doctor, and also the weight gain. She say not to mention what it does to you mentally and emotionally. She said that's dead. That storyline bullshit. Now I'm gonna tell you something. She wasn't just talking to Heavenly. She was talking to some of these bloggers that said that her relationship was fake. She said, y'all lost y'all damn mind thinking that my storyline was fake and for me to try to have a baby with this man. So, Andy say he think anyone going through IVF and on television and off is not faking anything. They have to be crazy to do that. And they know that. And he said he knows she not crazy. And Dr. Heavenly said everything happened as supposed to. So Andy say, Dr. Jackie, I have to assume that you've seen fertility struggles put quite a strain on relationship, especially quad. And he said, especially IVF. And she said, absolutely, fertility treatments can damage relationships and marriages. And Dr. Simone said, I have a question you are more to answer. Welcome to say none of my damn business. She asked Quad, if you and King could not decide on whose house to live in and when you were going to get engaged and get married, why did y'all move forward with the IVF process? She said because he's a great co-parent. Even now, he don't live in the same house as his daughter and mom. He's a great co-parent. And Dr. Simone said, okay. She said, so you were thinking on more of the lines of, if this doesn't work out, I have an immense sperm donor. And Dr. Contessa said it did seem as an outsider that maybe he lost interest and he was in it for you to support her, but not, because you want a father that wants to a kid. And it seems like he wasn't as interested in that journey as you were. A lot of people feel that way. I feel like King felt like his needs were neglected. Well, however that situation happened between him and his child's mother, there were some things that maybe didn't work out and maybe it was different, but Andy said he heard that from a lot of viewers that they weren't on the same page. And Quad said she gonna go by from what they both agreed on. They both decided without a pew to his head, without pushing him off the bridge, without him having a car saying he gonna run him over. They both decided to go on the journey together to conceive a child. And she said she never wanted to neglect anything that had to do with him. And she put her best foot forward, which she did. And she devoted herself. So when she heard that, she said, where am I missing the mark? And she said, Andy asked, was she upset? And she said she was wondering where she missed the mark. And he asked, what's next for her? Will she move forward? We're still trying to, start a family solo? Is it something that she think about? Quad says she take it one day at a time. She know that there's a lot of options. And she have friends who decided to move forward and have children on their very own without a man present. And they have beautiful children. So she says she going to say that we'll just see. They have to stay tuned and how they going to do that. Well, I like that. So we get into, where is Brandy? Oh, Brandy is there. So Brandy comes in, and Andy asked Brandy is contestant invited to the next birthday party. She say, as of right now, they are, but they have to have a couple. She is invited to the next birthday party, but they got to have a couple words because after what she watched and the things that Contessa said that she couldn't hear in her party, she said they had to have a little talk. And she said, I don't play about my husband. And Dr. Heavenly was saying nobody did. She said, talk about the fact I had a party, had a dinner. And Contessa said, you did. She said, you the only one. She said, I didn't say anything. Brandy said, yes, you did. You said a lot, girl. And then she talking about rewind, tell me when you done. She said, I'm done, girl. So Contessa said what happened was a bit misunderstanding. She said, I could tell you that I came in with good intentions. She said, I had no idea that it turned into a conversation about her husband's party that started before she got there. She said, who was talking about you? Because I don't remember that. So Brandy say it was her and Heavenly. And Heavenly say, no, we did have a conversation. She say, well, what did we say? And Toya said, I don't think it was you. I think it was me. She was like, no, it was her and Heavenly. And then, you know, Dr. Heavenly say, Toy don't never know what she talking about. She say never. So he showed a clip that Brandy had a conversation with Heavenly. Was it Toy? It was Heavenly. And Dr. Contessa, Brandy asked Contessa what bothered you there. And she said it was no apologize, but you came upset. And then Dr. Contessa was like, okay, let me know when you finish. Because Brandy said it seemed like you had a problem. Dr. Contessa ain't trying to argue. And she say, I came soft. And she said, that's what I'm trying to say. She say, soft under your breath. That's what Brandy said. And Contessa and everybody was laughing. And so Brandy said, next time come loud where I can hear you. And so you're not gonna say it. And the contestant say, you don't think I was loud at your party? She say, no. She said you was under your breath. So next time say it loud and we can address it in a moment. And you know, Dr. Contessa said she was completely flabbergasted of why we celebrating Brandy for some other another. I gotta call or FaceTime your husband. Thank you for some chicken wings. And Brandy say, whoa. She say, girl, bye. She say, girl, bye. She said, let's get that. She said, let's be clear. At your party, we spent about an hour of you complaining about your husband. And Dr. Contessa said she didn't. Dr. Contessa, I love you, but yes, you did. You was talking cash shit. You was talking cash to them ladies. They got the clip. You was talking cash. You was pissed off that he ain't putting nothing towards that party. Yeah, you did, girl. Your confessionals. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. And so Brandy said, she said, contestant said never one time. Brandy said, you basically say my whole life. On my 50, I'm not a party. Been out business. And Brandy say, I hope he does it for you. I think he'll do something for you for your birthday. I remember that. They were going at it. And contestant said that definition of the party is what you had then. I mean, and she said, no, my definition of party, that's a party. She said, I had multiple. She had a dinner. And then contestant said, well, why are we competing about dinners? Like, I think this about parties. And she said, I'm not trying to compete. Brandy said, girl, pride. And you told me, I said the stuff under my breath, and you did. So got the contestant say she apologized and she came to her party in her mind with anything but love of a celebration of who she is. And that day to her should be about Brandon, and that's the God decided that's day in the world that you was complete without being. And she said, I will celebrate you today and on your birthday. And Brandon say, I appreciate you. It was her actual birthday, so that's why Dr. Contessa was doing. Oh, they both Geminis. Oh no, one of they going back and forth was like twins. There you have it. If y'all want to know what twins act like when they go back and forth, look at Brandy and Contessa. That's exactly what that was. All right, so Toya and Dr. Mimi get into it. So Dr. Mimi says every time the issue with Toya is every time they're in the setting with the ladies, she don't like bickering and going back and forth, and it's not her nature to facilitate. It's in her nature not to facilitate in healthy conversations. And Andy saying use it, and Toya say that's a good thing that she said she don't like the confrontation. But when she went up to the young lady, Brandy, at the end and told her, she said, and Dr. Mimi say, well, yeah, let's talk about it. She said, for who, make sure you look out for who you align yourself with. That was a political event. And it wasn't necessary. And Toya, Dr. Mimi say, excuse me, Toya. And Toya say, excuse me. I started talking. You started actually talking. And Dr. Heavenly say, well, you talk a lot. And and then Toya say, I'm sorry, Heavenly, you should talk more. Y'all hell. and Toya say, I know what you're talking about when you do. Toya, it is Dr. And the Heavenly say, shut up. You absolutely do know what you don't know. You talk about, that's why you absolutely fall off. And you know, and Toya say, get into politics. Toya, you must want to go back to school for your doctorate for something. I keep wanting to call you that. And Toya say, yeah, I keep telling you, you keep lying, and politics is really your thing. And it's all good. And Heavenly say, well, you ought to go into politics too. You a liar. Oh my God. So they going back and forth. Toya say, lie on, girl, lie on. Dr. Mimi say she never meant to disrespect her marriage. When she turned away and say, hey, what else should I do and how should I talk to Eugene? Dr. Mimi said, she said, you need to do it in a softness and assertiveness. And then Toya say, I didn't ask you anything. Dr. Mimi say, yes, you did. Yes, you did. We're the tape, as you said. And Toya did say, what other way do y'all think I should talk to him? And expect for him to get up. And then Dr. Mimi said, lean into your femininity. And she said, and she walked off. And Dr. Mimi said she never wanted to disrespect her marriage. That's not what she do. And Dr. Simone say, oh, true. That's true. And she said she did ask. Like she agreeing that she did ask. And Toya says, she say he can't absolutely take accountability. So Andy say she talking. Toya, let her talk. So and Toya like, all right. And Dr. Heavenly say thank you. And Toya say, all right, you right, you got it. And so he said, I understand that me and Toya, when we started, we never had a good foundation. She said it was never a conversation to say this is who. Conversation, she says she don't understand who Toya is, and it's not saying she don't want to know who Toya really is, but she would like to know, and they need to have a foundation to cultivate a friendship. And Toya said the one thing that she said is true is that she still doesn't know who I am. And she say I don't. And Toya say, but she just sat here. I say you a wife, and then Toya say, but you just told this woman not to align herself with me. And then they're looking at her like, Toya, like laughing. And she said, that's the crazy part at all. She said, you said that before. I'm sorry, I'm talking. I'm letting you speak. No, you didn't. No, you did not. And Dr. Mimi said, you over talk. And Andy have said it. You over have talked. And Toya said, okay, are you done? You're done. Okay, now you want to chime in. All right. So Dr. Mimi said, let me finish my delivery. She said, I apologize for my delivery. Toya said, oh, okay. And Brandy say, I appreciate that because what I was triggered was in the delivery. And she say, it's nice for you to apologize. And Toya and Dr. Mimi still going at it. And she's apologizing to Brandy. She's saying, who's over talking now? Child. So then we get to where the husbands are walking in. Lord, Steve and Eugene get into it. So they walk in as Steve and Dr. Damon. And Dr. Damon said, hey, look, Steve said, my bad, Dr. Damon. Steve said, hey, look, I got chased by 250-pound linebackers. So this is nothing to me. I've been on the field with much bigger men trying to tackle me over a ball and to get to a ring and a trophy. I can handle this. So, it's Cecil, Eugene, and Dr. Contessa's husband. And Cecil told me, it's me, you got me blinded. So everybody speak, and Curtis is there already. And then Cecil said, I know you was going to have the LV on. I'm done. So everybody sitting down talking and saying, hey, and Curtis said, you seem a little antsy, ain't you? He said, and then Dr. Damon said he don't want to see Eugene and Steve arguing, and he understand the anger. And Steve says there's a level of accountability that we all need to take. And Cecil said, and Steve got to the event that he didn't know they'd take it, and Steve said never said anything about a ticket. And Dr. Eugene looking like, man, whatever, if he thinks so. Dr. Eugene, why you mad at your favorite football player? You know that's your football. You know that you like him on the field. You know you like this Steve on that field. You know that was your boy. Don't do him like that. So, Cecil say right or wrong, but we do have to do a better job communicating what's going on. He didn't know. There wasn't a lot of inclusion. And Eugene did ask about the ticket when they ran in. And Eugene said, if you're trying to include people and then push it back and you move on and make a good event. And so Steve said he disagreed. He said, you tried to exclude us when it came to tickets, but it was never said that we need to buy a ticket. It was never said. And Eugene said, if you didn't like the way that it was ran and you were so out in Jamaica, then why the hell would you even come there? So everybody looking like, why would you ask him that? You know why he came there, Eugene. What do you mean? So everybody sitting here looking. He said because it's a Met Gala, because it was a big cause. Steve talked to his wife. They had a heart to heart. And they were like, you know what, we should go and we should go ahead and donate. That'd be nice. They are giving away to some women that, people don't want to have their doctors. And I know what it's like to have mine. Sure, honey, let's go. Okay. Well, let's see if we can go in. We're just going to go and then we can go ahead and open our wallets. So Steve said he didn't do it to support him. He did to support the cause. And Eugene say, "Oh, so you support the cause? So how is it?" He say, "I did." He said, "Well, buy a ticket." He said, "I did buy a ticket." He say, "So why we sitting here arguing?" He say, "Steve, I can't imagine that you're justifying bad behavior." And he say, "You define bad behavior when you justify defend Toya." So Curtis say, wait, hold on. He say, Eugene say, don't talk about my wife. Don't talk about my wife. He said, you can say whatever it is. You ain't gonna talk about my wife. He said, you want to test me? You can keep that same energy. So, Eugene say, I'm about to boss up on this dude. Don't talk about my wife. He said, I'm good. I was good. He said, I was good until you said something about with tickets. He said, do you want to be one of the women? Eugene say, do you? Lord Jesus. Y'all ain't even got on the stage yet. What the hell? Y'all just walked in. I know it's cold still in New York till June, but damn. Huh. So he said, you want to be one of them because you acted like one. So Eugene said, come on, man. He said, I don't care that you nod your head and smack your lips. It don't change the fact that you were trying to ambush me at the event when we had this conversation. And Eugene said, you felt ambushed and I'm sorry. He said, well, you still should pay for a ticket then. So Curtis was like, Steve, that dude ain't going to admit to nothing. Wait. And Eugene was like, what? Wait a minute. He said that dude ain't going to never admit to nothing, all right? What? Y'all working. Wait a minute. What? They working. What? Child, so then we go back to the ladies. So Andy asked Heavenly about her son, and it'll say that a lot of viewers were concerned about Damon Jr. arrest. And they asked that could she give an update, and she said her son had a mental health emergency and she got him all the help that he needed, and we know where he is, and she hasn't actively seen him, and there's so much she want to say, but that's a story for him to tell. She said, however, this story is already out there. She would never put her family on blast like that. And Dr. Simone is looking like, girl, please, what? You wouldn't what? Girl, come on now. And she say, when she talked to her husband, they didn't know who to call. So she called her good friend, Nikki. And I said, we don't know what to do. She said, I done everything for her children. She given her back. She been her back. She put them in private schools. She done all the things for her children. For there is an epidemic going on, not in the community, but in the nation, where people are not getting the mental health that they need in their lives. And Quan say what they're doing is putting people in mental health issues in jail. That is true. That is true. I think, and I've said this before, this country has a problem with calling out mental health and disabilities and getting the help that people need to where they feel like it is they feel like it's something to hide because they're trying to go backwards in the times where that never happened, that don't exist. And a lot of things that's been caused on this world is hurting mental health. It hurts people to see every day you're going to catch a flight for work, but you seeing people get locked up and thrown around like a body bag. You know what I'm saying? It bothers people mental. And so, Quad was saying that, they're in jail, and then Heavenly says her son is Damon Kynes Jr. He could have fell into the system. She said, great thing her husband was able to know people because he worked in the ER. They called him and told him what was going on. And Damon Jr. said, that's right, they're not being treated, and they're not. We've talked about how we just saw how, we've had conversations where people just spazzing out. People are in jail, they have mental health issues, and they're supposed to be in therapy. When you in somewhere on a four wall every day with a toilet in the sink, and you seeing people do stuff, the food they give you, it causes problems. The things that y'all don't see in jail and y'all hear about the things that they do, half of the people say it's true. And people think going to jail is just for cred and that's a cool thing. No, baby. Going to prison is not the same. It's bad. Like y'all think it's sweet in there. Oh, they just have actual acts. No, that ain't even all what's going on in there. You'll be surprised. And Dr. Damon was saying that. And someone said on Twitter, Heavenly had to look up on the internet to find out about Junior arrest. Said Damon should have told her first. And Heavenly said they don't talk about everything. There's certain things that he cannot handle, and there's certain things that she can't handle. That's the nature of their relationship. And Dr. Simone agreed, even though they're not cool. She agreed to that because if something happened, Cecil ain't gonna tell Dr. Simone. She can't handle that. If something else happened, Dr. Simone ain't gonna tell Cecil. He can't handle that. You gotta know your husband. And she say every relationship is different. And then Dr. Simone say, just so you know, I don't wake up during film season and decide I'm gonna put my family on blast. She say it happens spontaneously. And Dr. Heavenly said the difference between you and I is my husband is too good to me. And Dr. Simone said my husband is also good to me. So here come Toya. Now you talking about relationships and husbands again. And Simone said, I've been with Cecil as long. And she said, and Dr. Heavenly said, every situation is different, Simone. And Dr. Simone said, we got married because we chose to, not because I was pregnant. Oh my God today. And then Dr. Heavenly said, and then Andy said, ladies, show of hands who would vote for Heavenly today. So the whole side of the couch that Heavenly on said, yeah. The other side said no. Oh, except for Contessa. And update, Heavenly did win. She won. She won. She won. She won. So, Quad, you should be a campaign manager for people. You did your thing with that. You did your thing with that. Dr. Damon did. Everybody else agreed. Now the ladies are arguing. And Toya say we have enough liars in Congress. She say I can't take another one. Well, girl, you have. Like I say, I feel like Heavenly could be good at cussing folks out. Just don't say your mama. Now she might be feeling a little. Oh, excuse me. But Toya, let's be for real. Um, the only liars are. But girl, you know who the liars are. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, you guys, sorry. So, so child, they were arguing and everything, right? So then we get to Dr. Heavenly and Simone, the conversation of them. And Andy say this is not the first time that Dr. Heavenly and Simone have gone through it. Dr. Simone, so Brandon was like, uh-oh. And Andy said that there has been original friendship with Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone, and the wedge is Heavenly. And Heavenly says she's not trying to be a wedge, and she's not trying to, she promised to God. And Dr. Simone starts crying, and Andy say he hoped that they can resolve it. He say, I am too. And she say, are there? She say, I don't think it is a resolution when you're still lying on me. And then Dr. Heavenly say, I think everybody is the only truth. And she said, if your mind have you that delusional that you think somebody would hit or push you, and Simone say, you got to sit with a psychiatrist, and Mimi is here. And she say she's sitting close to her for a reason. And then Simone say she never had a black woman call her unhinged, unaggressive, none of that. And Andy says about the physicality, and they say, yeah, and Quan say she was surprised that somebody said that. They almost like, and Quan say, well, I'm surprised to hear that. And Simone say, yeah, to allege that I pushed her. Dr. Heavenly say, no, she should never touch anyone. In an argument, Simone. And Simone say, you touch me. And then they going fighting about it. And, Heavenly say, you grabbed my arm. And Dr. Simone say, why is this girl so effing delusional? And so they go back and Heavenly just wave a hand and say, Simone, and Andy say, let me back up, stop. You just heard Jackie say in no uncertain terms, did she ever believe that you were physically aggressive in any threatening way before she even saw the footage and after? And Dr. Simone said if she had said that when she was talking to you, wouldn't be here this discussion. She say, I feel like she's saying it because she has no choice. What else would she say? And Dr. Jackie said, what did I say to you in the dressing room before we got on the show? That I did not feel Simone was threatening. And Toya say, so why didn't she say it when the camera was on? And Dr. Heavenly say, because she thought she already said it. And Dr. Simone say, can you imagine at the hospital? And then Dr. Heavenly say, do you act like this at the hospital? And Dr. Simone is somebody asking, and Toya say, it don't matter. Do you act like that at your dental office? And Simone say, Heavenly. So they're all going back and forth. And Simone had to tell her to be quiet. And Handy had to say, all of y'all got to speak to each other. And then Simone say, be quiet. Hear him out. Here you are waiting for a congressional seat, and Quad ain't been able to clean up nothing. And Quad like, what I got to do with it? Dr. Jackie say, Simone. I'm sorry, to Simone. They got me choking. She said, because this is important today. This is not a show. She said, we have been through a lot. She said, yes, we have. And she said, for 30 years, and I always felt like you were safe and I was a safety to you. She said, so today, she said, I want this about you and I. She said, I don't care what they're saying right now. She said, I need to know from you that if I ever have let you down and betrayed you, I want to fix it. And then she said, so you come to me that night in Angel event and you are the person in group, and she said that can get her back to earth when she's angry. And here go Dr. Heavenly, me too. Nobody asked you, Dr. Heavenly. And she said, absolutely. Dr. Jackie said, absolutely. She said, that night you tried to settle me down and I kept going because I knew exactly what I was doing. She said, people come for me and I'm clocked in. I know that's right. And I stayed clocked in, ready to go. And I came to who? You. And she said, yeah, you came to me. And we get to Florida. She said, you say to me, snapped. A quad snapped. Angel's dragging her. Yep. Heavenly snapped. Somebody dragging her over there. And Angel saying, you snapped at everybody. And Dr. Simone say she didn't. She starts snapping when people start coming for her. And Quad say, "Girl, hold on now. Wait a minute. What you trying to say?" She say that you'll forget the challenge is. So then Toria had to move over, and Jackie had to look at Dr. Simone and say, "I want you to make it about me and you." She said, "My point to you in Florida, you was talking to me about the fact that I snapped off." She said, as if I was the only person at the event who snapped. And Jackie say, "Simone, the same conversation I had about snapped was Heavenly too." And Heavenly says she can't hold herself accountable. And she can't take it. And she removed herself from the situation. She says she touched my arm, and they have where she touched my arm. And Dr. Jackie said once that I was isolating you, I was talking to you, and Dr. Jackie said when I come to you, it's typically you and I, we zone out on everybody else. But this time it hurts. And it hurts. And it hurts her then. And she'll ask it again because based on the conversation that they had prior to the conversation going to New York, is you were saying, and she said it was about unhinged. Did Simone push Heavenly, and or is Heavenly making that up? You said Jackie said she wasn't there, and Dr. Simone said, but you saw the footage. She said, you said you wasn't there, but you saw the footage. She said that night, she sat there. I feel like Simone was tired of it and they were sick of Heavenly. She said that night as she watching as her friend who should represent her, she know what happens if she was to his push or anything, and a real case comes out of that. And she says she has to answer it with hospital privileges, and she has to answer with malpractice. And Jackie say, you are correct. And that's true. I've been saying that. And she say, you tell the truth to me, you tell the truth to her together. And she say, oh, we are never to end up back together again. She say, you take my word for it. Uh-oh. She say she can't move forward. She say don't want to and can't do it. Ooh. Wow. So when we go into next week, part 2, oh, it's just 2 parts, you guys. It's a dramatic conclusion. I want to know what happened. Simone, he asked Simone could she move forward with Jackie. I'm not gonna tell y'all the answer to after. She say not if she can't take a stance on right and wrong. Dr. Contessa say Heavenly start stuff, and Brandon say that's her again. We see Steve and Eugene, and Steve says that Eugene is insecure, that she feel like Steve is eye candy. Toya feel like Steve is eye candy. And then Quad told people to stop it. Child, that is all I got for y'all. I do want to talk about Housewives. We don't have that long to go. Yeah. Hold on, wait a minute. So Housewives is starting April 5th, and they're already doing they're press. They're doing their press right now, and I love it. I'm gonna hurry up because we've been on here for 2 hours trying to get through, having phone calls. I appreciate you guys holding it in for me. I appreciate you guys for being awesome. Also, we do have Salt and Pepper going on tour with TLC. That is the announcement. I'm gonna show that before we get into Housewives. Shout out to the iconic group, honey. They playing Ding Dong Ditch on their rooms, playing the music. So they are going on a tour, y'all. TLC and Salt and Pepper, congratulations. And guess who? in Vogue. This gonna be a nice tour. I like it. Okay. Y'all, TLC and Salt and Pepper with In Vogue, honey. It's iconic. It's a tour. It's a tour. I want to know the tour dates. All right, y'all, let's get into it. So they go on a press run, right? They're on a press run for Real Housewives of Atlanta. And K. Michelle got asked a question by Miss Sherry Shepherd. Let's listen.
Got to talk housewives over here. Okay. In the trailer, you were having issues with fellow housewife Drew Sidora. Now, what's going on? Why y'all can't get along? What's happening?
I can't say a lot, but I can say it's not for what people think it is or what she would hope it would be about.
Okay.
She would hope it would be about music, but I don't fight about music, you know, when something doesn't compare. So it wasn't that. But no, honestly, like,
Right.
you know, I travel all over the world. I work, you know, platinum, gold records, all type of stuff. One thing I'm not going to do is fight about music. So I think people think that that's what it's going to be.
I see a lot of Drew people on here talk about it's the reason why people got this show. Baby, that's BS. That's BS. If Nene come back, I love Drew. If Nene come back, I'm gonna tell you something. Drew can forget it.
I try to support all the beginners in music.
Sister.
No, I'm just being honest.
I'm being honest.
That is not fair.
We got
I love
Drew,
no, you got Chicago. Chicago, stand up. I'm from Chicago. Drew is from Chicago.
But that's your friend.
That's my girl.
Why do you say neutral?
That is my girl. I love Kay. Kay and I love Kay. I love Drew. But Chicago, we got to stand up, Sherry. Come on.
Oh my God.
You making the city look bad. We good. We good.
I'm just ask this. I got to
But
watch
it's not about music.
It's not about music.
We got to go deeper than music.
It's deeper than music.
I don't even know why I'm gonna answer this, but I'm gonna answer this real quick.
Damn. I'm sorry. Did she just really? The show ain't started yet, Kay. Calm your ass down. Oh, Lord. It's going to be a frenzy today.
You were with Nene at Capitol Hill. Y'all were at Capitol Hill together. So because you were with Nene is Nene.
Yes,
do you want to see Nene get her peach back on the Housewives?
I love Nene. I'm gonna always love Nene, and I would love to see her back.
You would love to see Nene back.
Nene is
bring the talk back.
Girl, first of all, I don't know how you gonna stay neutral. Because let me tell you something about me and my best friend, Niecy Nash. If something happened with me, she ready to fight everybody. I don't know how you stand.
You will see that Drew and Kay are, something you won't want to miss.
Well, I'm not.
You will not want to miss.
Miss Shady Boots over here.
Okay.
Like,
Someday.
look at y'all, ladies.
A real talent.
I'm not even gonna get off the
She
floor.
can't even get off the floor.
I can't even get off the floor. Y'all got
baby.
Now,
Thank
Drew
you
has
for being
movies. Drew has talent.
Movies that no one really knows of.
No, that's not
Oh,
true.
we gotta. Okay,
That is
y'all.
not true.
Okay, Michelle, we got to talk housewives over here. Okay, in the
My
trailer,
Jesus.
you were having issues with fellow housewife Drew Sidora. Now, what's going on? Why y'all can't get along? What's happening?
I can't say a lot, but I can say it's not for what people think it is or what she would hope it would be about.
Okay.
She would hope it would be about music, but I don't fight about music, when something doesn't compare. So it wasn't that. But no, honestly, like,
Right.
I travel all over the world. I work, platinum, gold records, all type of stuff. One thing I'm not going to do is fight about music. So I think people think that that's what it's going to be. I try to support all the beginners in music.
My good sister.
No, I'm just being honest.
That is not fair.
What is going on? Okay.
I'm being honest.
That is not fair.
We
Sherry,
gotta go
I love
see
the
these
girl.
things.
We got Chicago. Chicago, stand up. I'm from Chicago. Drew's from Chicago.
But that's your friend.
That's my
Why
girl.
do you say neutral?
That is my girl. I love Kay. Kay and I love Kay. I love Drew. But Chicago, we got to stand up, Sherry. Come on.
Oh my God.
You making the city look bad. We good. We good.
I'm gonna just ask this. I gotta
But
watch
it's
out.
not about music.
It's not about music.
We gotta go deeper than music.
It's deeper than music.
I don't even know why I'm gonna ask this, but I'm gonna ask this real quick. You were with Nene at Capitol Hill. Y'all were at Capitol Hill together. So because you were with Nene, Nene is Nene.
Yes,
Do you
she
want to
is.
see Nene get her peach back on the Housewives?
I love Nene.
I'm not gonna play with them. I want to thank y'all for remembering to like, comment, share, subscribe. It's gonna be a good season for Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'll see y'all in a couple of hours. Bye, y'all.